Hello and a very warm welcome to this week's Geraldine Jamieson interview. Well, my guest today is the award-winning British R&B soul vocalist Gabrielle, who began her career singing for free in London West End clubs whilst temping in offices during the day. Her big break came when her debut single Dreams topped the UK charts in June 1993. In 3 short years, 2 albums and 9 singles, 5 of which were top 10, established Gabrielle as the UK's premier soul singer. Walk On By, the cover of the Dionne Warwick classic, and Out of Reach from the soundtrack of Bridget Jones' Diary, among other notable singles, made her a household name. Last night, I caught up with Gabrielle backstage just before a performance at the Villa Marina in aid of Oscar's Dreams supporting the Isle of Man Children's Hospice, a cause she herself feels so strongly about that she readily gave her services for nothing. We'll be hearing from Gabrielle herself in a moment, but first, let's hear a little of her music, her chart-topping debut single, Dreams.
They can't come true, yeah, they can't come true. Move a step closer, you know that I want you. I can tell by your eyes that you want me to. Just a question of time. I knew we'd be together and that you'd be mine. I want you here forever. Do you hear what I'm saying? Gotta say how I feel. I can't believe it, but I know that you're real. I know what I want. My feelings because they are true, yeah. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have hope. You know you got to be strong. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have hope. You know you got to be strong. I've seen you sometimes on your own ending cries. I knew I had to have you, my horse and let me die. Now you're by my side, and I feel so good. I'm nothing too high, don't feel that I ever could. Do you hear what I'm saying? Gotta say how I feel. I can't believe you're here, but I know that you're real. I know what I want, and baby, it's you. Can't deny my feelings because they are true, yeah. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have hope. You know you got to be strong. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have hope. You know you got to be strong. Tomorrow, let's live for tonight. I know I want you, baby, so hold me so tight. Put your arms around me, you make me feel so safe. Can you whisper in my ear that you're here to stay? Yeah. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have hope. You know you got to be strong. To have hope. You know you got to be strong. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have hope. You know you got to be strong. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have.
Well, Gabrielle, a very warm welcome to the Isle of Man and of course to the programme. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
In person. Now, I think we should just explain to our audience, if you sound a little quiet, you're husky, you're actually sort of nearly got out of a bed to do this gig, as they say. their terminology, don't they?
Trying to rest my voice. I've been battling flu for the last couple of weeks, and it's just this week that I managed to get out and start rehearsing with my band, because I'm here to do this amazing show, for this, what I should say, support this amazing cause, and do this show, and it's a great thing to be a part of as a mother. I think for those of us with children out there, it could be any of us, and I think the more facilities we can procure for something like this, the better.
You are a great supporter, aren't you?
That's right.
Of hospices.
That's right.
And especially for children.
Most definitely.
And Oscar's Dream is leading the way here on our island. You yourself, Gabrielle, what side of the industry excites you most? Is it recording or performing live?
Performing live is the be-all, end-all for me. It is great to be able to go into a studio and write the songs. But for me, going out there, watching the people come to the shows, sit down, they've kind of been looking forward to it for weeks or months, if it's a show that that I've been planning for a while. And it's a case just having a good time, it's like life is what you make it. If you can make it fun, then I'm all for it.
Sometimes our audience will realise I have to record, outside studio conditions. But it's great to see, it's great for us, the producer and myself, to get out and see, to see yourself and how it works beforehand. You're very calm, it's not too long to curtain up, and you're sitting there beautifully dressed and very calm about it. How important, though, is touring for you in this new landscape of digital downloads, YouTube and MySpace, etc.?
Right. It's, in terms of like recording and stuff like that, and the whole thing of your music being available to download, and sometimes for free and not necessarily with consent. I think recording and going on the road and touring is truly essential for an artist, because they can't kind of bottle that, the idea of, yes, unless someone actually records a whole show and downloads it, I'm sure it will never be as superior as coming to a show or having a professional crew recording. So it's great to let people know you're still out there and going on the road, because they can download for free, but they can't necessarily come and see me free. Although I've been known to do it for free, to go on the road and tour and do the odd thing, which is still, very much of who I am. That's where I started off, in little clubs, doing it for nothing and just having a ball. And I always say to people, if it doesn't happen for me anymore, I'll still be in a little venue somewhere, or a little pub or club somewhere around the country doing my thing, just for people to hear me still.
Yeah, that's terrific. In fact, actually, it was one of your chaps in the band said to me that you're doing this, you're giving your services free here.
Yeah, completely.
Which is fantastic. And even they are taking a reduced fee, I think, which is equally good. But, with so much churn in the music industry, is it hard for an established artist like you to keep getting recognition when the media are so focused on these new stars from the X Factor type of TV shows?
Well, something, there's no snobbery from me regarding the X Factor stars, simply because, they go and do these shows, they're putting themselves out there and in front of the media, and they're opening themselves up to scrutiny. And at the end of the day, when, finally the last person left standing, usually they are superior. With Leona Lewis was, basically the last big star we had off of X Factor. So to be honest with you, she was truly amazing and still is. I mean, if there has been another one, I can't quite remember who else. But no, for me, Leona Lewis is still the one cutting it. And so I think there's room for all of us, whether we're older and established to new and upcoming. Because obviously, when I burst onto the scene in '93, I was new, and there were still, established people before me. And I think that there'll always be a way for us to coexist. Yeah. And it's fun. I mean, we don't want to see, just don't get me wrong, we all appreciate watching people of old, like myself, but it's refreshing to see new people burst onto the scene and bring another dimension.
Well, who do you think are most concerned with the image of an artist today? Is it the record industry or the general public?
I think it's a bit of both. I think that, in terms of imagery and maybe projecting something that is a surefire win and sells, then, I think now record companies, because so much has changed, a lot of losses have been made in the industry, a lot of jobs have been lost, and, there's continuing mergers because records are not selling as much. So now, the idea of getting a new artist and putting your money into it. It's like, you know, the banks don't give away money for free, and that's now how the record companies are. It's like, if we're going to be putting and channeling a lot of our money into an artist who potentially is an investment, we want to know that they look the part, they sound the part, and we can sell it to the public, because this is what the public wants. And the public, you know, we are fickle. I myself consider myself a public when I'm watching somebody and I go out and buy a product. So it's a bit of both. It's very hard now and very competitive.
Well, you've obviously noticed then changes in the music industry since your first number one in 1993.
That's right.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that. I mean, that must have been so exciting for you.
It was fantastic. I mean, you've got to imagine that I was someone new, somebody who, like many others when I used to go and sing in nightclubs, had this dream of just singing. I never actually had the dream of becoming famous through my singing. I just wanted to sing. I didn't even imagine that the possibility was open to me. I was just content that this little club in Greek Street was, you know, a little stage for me to kind of do my thing on a weekly basis. And so when on the side I actually was able to write Dreams and actually get it out eventually, the first time it ever came out was actually on a white label and without my consent. So in a way the person did me a great favour, but at the same time, at no time did I think, you know, a lot of people get to hear my music. And so when finally I was heard by my record company, who it was my then A&R man, Ferdy Hamilton, heard my track. I was like, oh my God, who is this? And came running to find me, literally. It was like, wow, you know, all the opportunities that came about after that. So it was an amazing thing. I was just this little, you know, Southeast London girl who just wanted to sing and didn't imagine anything past singing.
Well, I always think of you, of course, as the soulful, bluesy side, you know, of music, which is what I adore myself. But you're also influenced, I suppose, by the early 80s British pop, would you agree?
Completely. I mean, although I was growing up listening to my mum's record collection, but I also, you know, she was a very young mum, so I had a young mum at the time who was playing her collection. I was going to school, I was tuning into the TV, what was happening, what was hip, you know, Madonna, Culture Club, Haircut 100, Spandau Ballet, the list was endless, and I loved it all, you know, and Michael Jackson. So it was hard not to be influenced, especially if you were a lover of music like myself. It, you know, to this day, I'm still a very big pop fan. You know, I still kind of check out what's happening right now.
Knew the signs wasn't right. I was stupid for a while, swept away by you, and now I feel like the fool. So confused, my heart's bruised. Was I ever loved by you? Out of reach, so far. I never had your heart. Out of reach, couldn't see. We were never meant to be. Catch myself from despair. I could drown if I stay here, keeping busy every day. I know I will be okay, but I was so confused, my heart's bruised. Was I ever loved by you? Out of reach, so far. I never had your heart. Out of reach, couldn't see. We were never meant to be. So much hurt, so much pain, takes a while to regain what is lost inside. And I hope that in time you'll be out of my mind. I'll be over you. And now I'm so confused, my heart's bruised. Was I ever loved by you? Out of reach, so far. me.
Other notable singles of yours, of course, include Out of Reach. Now, this is interesting. That was from the soundtrack, actually.
That's
of
right.
Bridget Jones' Diary.
That's right.
That must have been fun to do.
It was fantastic. It was something I'd never done before. I'd never, prior to that, been approached to write specifically for a movie. So that was a challenge within itself. But I was determined to kind of step up to that. And I remember that when I heard the music that my producer had composed, and it was down to me to kind of put my mark and put my lyrics, I knew instantly from the book what I was going to write about. The music steered me because it was kind of speaking to me, and the end result I was truly really happy with. And when the people regarding the movie were like, oh, let's hear it, it was fantastic. They were very happy with it, and I was really chuffed that I'd managed to pull it off, because I didn't secretly think I could, but again, I said it was a challenge and I pulled it off and I was really happy.
So when you went to see it?
Amazing. I mean, I've got to say, watching the movie and seeing where they put it, because you'd never quite know where they're going to insert it, and it was so poignant, and it was like, oh my God, I was even crying. I'm like, why am I crying? I know it's a movie, but I love movies. I love the book, and to actually see it on screen was amazing, and to see my song inserted, that was an amazing thing.
But also you've done, just last year actually, in 2007, your new single, of course, came out, Why? And you performed live on the National Lottery Show.
I did, and I love doing that. I mean, it's always nervy to do live and to do shows or to do a performance knowing that millions of people are watching you. And I've always been nervous, and though I think, God, I'm older now, I should be kind of relaxed about it, I never relax. And so I was quite scared, but really tough to see it when it was, when it was recorded, and to know that basically the record company always record everything you do, and I was like, oh, okay, it wasn't bad, but it was nice to do.
Yeah. And did you buy a ticket in the lottery?
No, I didn't. I've tried doing that before, and I haven't got good luck like that, so I'm just was happy to be there and know that lots of people got to watch the performance and hear the song.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who do you think, if we just take the soulful bluesy side really of your repertoire, perhaps that helps you, gives you longevity, really, compared to perhaps a more pop-based artist?
I don't know, when you think of people like Kylie Minogue, who's a pop-based artist, but at the same time her longevity has been amazing simply because she's had fabulous songs, and then Madonna, so they keep reinventing themselves, so there's nothing wrong with that. But I like to think longevity, like you say, comes about from doing something slightly different. People remember you by, but then I can't say that they don't remember Kylie and Madonna, because I'm huge fans of those, so again, it's just nice to do something slightly different.
Where do you get the material from? Do you write it yourself?
Yes, I do. In terms of the lyrics, I write myself, and occasionally I co-write lyrically, which now I'm older, whereas it was like, it's got to be me, I. I'm open to other people's ideas, which is very rare. So even if I write a song and somebody contributes and I see it being something about this, or I'm like, well, no, it's quite like that, not like that, or I don't say those kind of lines, I don't write a particular way. So I'm always open to suggestions. I'm not afraid, simply because I've kind of earned my stripes in the beginning, writing entirely lyrically, and people initially not being aware of that because they were so focused on the eye patch. It kind of took away, when I first came out, the fact that I was a singer-songwriter, but I wasn't upset by it.
Yes, actually, I didn't mention the eye patch. You're wearing a fabulous pair of
Thank
glasses, I must say. I was stunned. We're in your dressing room at the moment with all these other lights around.
My God.
So I can't really see. But you made a feature of that, really.
Yeah, I wore the eye patch, and like I say, there was so much attention that it kind of diverted away from me being a singer-songwriter. But I wasn't sad about that, because eventually I'd move on to be able to establish myself that way, and it was just a necessity at the time.
Mm-hmm. What about covers? You have done some covers.
Oh yes, always fearful when I do covers, because when you choose certain songs and you think, oh, that's a great song, and you're aware of the fabulous person before you who's actually the originator of this song, and so you're like, oh my God, maybe people won't like it. And I covered Walk On By Dionne Warwick, and actually then went to watch her perform a show, and she, just before she went to perform Walk On By, she was like, now this song has been done by previous people, so it was nice to see.
Are there any territories where you still have an ambition to become established?
Oh my God, other territories. I remember when I first started off, and being a fan of just music worldwide, and especially America. Everybody wanted to conquer America. I actually went to America for 6 weeks, couldn't get arrested musically, and even when that was a territory I would have loved, because I had friends there and family there, and that would have been nice, and but now I'm kind of content to be known mostly in my own backyard and countries surrounding the UK, etc. And I don't mean to sound kind of defeatist, but I kind of let go of the dream, because people like Robbie Williams, who sold so many albums in the UK and couldn't get arrested himself in America. So I'm like, okay, well, he's bigger than I am, and if he can't do it, then I'm kind of been defeatist. But it's always nice to think that maybe one day, Tina Turner kind of had a comeback career at 44, and maybe it'd be nice, maybe I'll take another rest and come back and say, right, it'd be nice to kind of try and target other territories, but I'm content for now.
Well, Gabrielle, it's been a real coup to have you over here performing at our Villa Marina in Douglas, and of course giving your time so readily for such a lovely cause here,
Certainly.
Oscar Streams. And thank you so much for joining me on the Geraldine Jamieson interview this week.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's gonna take time, I know, but I get over you. Look in my life, look in my heart, I have seen them fall apart. Now I'm ready to rise again. Just look at my hopes, look at my dreams. I'm building bridges from these things. Now I'm ready. Think twice, I know that I get over you. Look in my life, look in my heart, I have seen them fall apart. But now I'm ready to rise again. Just look at my hopes, look at my dreams. I'm building bridges from these things. Now I'm ready. Much time has passed between us. Do you still think of me at all? My world of broken promises. You won't catch me when I fall. Look in my life, look in my heart, I have seen the fall apart, but now I'm ready to rise again. Just look in my heart.